on YouTube. Hey, Rosemarie, how are you doing? It's good to have you on training tonight. And you just heard that. That means Facebook is live. I'm going to turn off my ringer because people will call during the training. Let me close out these two tabs. Chris, how you doing, buddy? We're going to get started, and welcome everybody to the training. The best way to build a list for directories. Give me some insight, and I'll answer that question when you say to build a list for directories. Let's go ahead and get started, and if you'll throw that up there, I'll come back to that here in just a second. But welcome to our Wednesday night training. I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Real quick, if you'd grab a pencil and a pen, I meant to make a slide for this on the for the screens, and I did not do it. But please grab a pencil and a piece of paper, and or pick up your phone even as we speak. There's no big secret what's going on in Texas. They've had a serious hurricane and flooding down in the south part of Texas, in the Houston area. Excuse me. If you will text Harvey, H-A-R-V-E-Y, to 2290999, that's Harvey, H-A-R-V-E-Y. And if somebody would put that in the chat box, I'd greatly appreciate it. It's Harvey, H-A-R-V-E-Y, to 90999. That will automatically send $10 to the Red Cross right from, and you'll be billed on your phone bill. I can promise you, I've talked to a lot of people down there, people that have lived down there. We have some of our people that live down there, and it would be greatly, greatly appreciated. I've got somebody that is texting me right now as we speak from a shelter down in Houston, and was just telling me some of the stories. People are very upbeat. They're very excited. They've got a place to sleep, a place that puts a roof over their head, and food in their bellies. So, but if you would just do that, if somebody would type that in, Harvey, H-A-R-V-E-Y, H-A-R-V-E-Y. I don't know if Kenny Dutton's on here. He normally does that. But type it to H-A-R-V-E-Y to 90999. That goes to the Red Cross. That's who I always give to during disasters. So I know that they would appreciate that very, 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 very much. Thank you guys so much. And but we're going to get started with training. Welcome again to our AppWizard Studio Wednesday night training. If you have not joined our Facebook group, please join our Facebook group at facebook.com. That's facebook.com/groups/AWS Mastermind /AWS Mastermind. A lot of great information goes through that group. A lot of help goes through that group. Matter of fact, some of the best help you can get goes through that group. We've got people in there that have been in AppWizard for 4 years, 3 years, 5 years. So there's a lot of great people in there that can help you. Real quick disclaimer before we get into the system. If you have AppWizard Studio, nor I cannot guarantee just because you are watching training, you will make any sales, create any traffic, or increase your income. Every person is different, has a different work ethic, and different desires. And with that said, I'm going to bring up a screen, and we are going to go right into the AppWizard platform tonight. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to ask. I will be using my peripheral vision and try to help you all I can. Let's see here. I got to move this screen over. I'm going to move this screen down. I'm going to stop that for a moment. Open this one up. There we go. And we'll screen share again here. Okay, can everybody see the AppWizard Studio screen? Everybody see the AppWizard Studio screen? Yep. You know, don't you love this this system? I mean, as soon as I say something, you guys can answer. and rock and roll. What we're going to do is we're going to walk through the training tonight. If you have a question, and I think Dennis had a question about the best way to build a list for directories, go ahead and elaborate on that a little bit. I'll be more than happy to go into that. But we're going to go in and we're going to walk through just about every piece of this system. If we don't finish tonight, we're going to finish next week. We're going to keep it right at an hour tonight. Don't want to overblow your mind. But this is the training that you will want to bookmark, and from our YouTube channel, especially after Kenny Dutton does the minute-by-minute replay on the bottom of the description. You can just click on what you want to know, and it's going to be in there. If there's something I do not cover, please ask, because we're going to, if it takes 2 weeks to do this, this will give you guys an exceptional video to be able to go back to and say, wow, that's what I needed right there. Let me click on this. And I recommend that you put it right on your toolbar of your browser. And when you need it, you go to it and it will work. But this is the front of the control panel. So if you send in a message to Mark, or you're talking to me via Facebook Messenger, and I tell you to go to the front of your control panel where your apps are, this is the place you go. You can see the name of the apps here, the app URLs, the copy codes right here, the date it was created. You can also add a note to your apps. Let's say this is a training app. Man, this is a training app. And I can come down and I can save that. And now, when I need to know something, all I have to do is click on my notes here, and I can see what the notes are. And maybe I've got a special something happening with this app, or it's not due for a few days, but I can actually put notes on every one of my apps. So this is your edit web app, edit kiosk. This is the 2.0 kiosk system right here. The 1.0 kiosk system, in order to access it, you have to add texting. And I'm going to show you in just a moment how to add texting to an app. Your text web app, this right here, you can actually text the web app from your computer screen. And I use this all the time when I'm sending these apps to my customers. I have their cell phone numbers. I simply put in their cell phone number right here and hit the button, and it sends it directly to them. Also right here, you can change this text. Hey, Kenny, this is your app. I'll tell you guys, I get worse on typing every day. Thanks. And you can see right here, it gives you the character count. All I got to do is put Kenny's phone number in there, and it will send him his mobile web app. So this is in the platform. This doesn't cost you anything to use. I highly recommend you use this because it's a quick way. You don't have to sit there and fumble. You don't have to look for the URL. It does it all for you automatically. All you have to do is click text web app. Add text service, website redirect code. This is what goes in the headers of your mobile websites. If you build mobile websites for your clients, you want to be able to take this script, redirect only phone visitors. Up here, this will redirect to all phones and tablets. This will redirect only to a phone. So I recommend you do phones and tablets. It looks real good on a tablet, unless it's a big, 18-inch screen tablet. But you can use phones and or tablets, and this is the HTML script, the JavaScript that goes in the header of your website. And what happens is when someone opens a website, it will automatically redirect them to their mobile web app. I don't know how many of you use this as a selling quality, but a benefit. But this is a very good benefit if they have access to their website. Now, what a lot of people are going to do is they're going to say, hey, can you do that for me? And yes, I did the disclaimer. What a lot of people will say is, hey, can you do that for me? The only way you can do it is if you have access to their website. Now, let me say this. If you don't know anything about placing JavaScript in the header and you don't know anything about building websites, let me highly recommend that you do not agree to do it and or agree that you will find someone else to do it. You can destroy their entire website by not knowing how to do that. So if you built their website, great. If not, just send them this code and they can send it to the web designer and they can put it in there for them. Do not attempt to do it if you've never done it, okay? A domain name, if you want to add a custom domain name to this app, if I wanted to name this AppWizardStudio.com and wanted it to come up, that's what the domain name is. There is a charge for that. I can't remember what it is off bat, but you can go in and you can add that if you don't have the enterprise system. A lot of people use this. This is very, very popular. A lot of businesses say, hey, I'd like to have my domain name as the app name. Absolutely, and we can do that for you. Give to another sales rep. If you build sales, if you have the sales rep feature and you build sales reps into the platform, and we're going to go over that here in just a few minutes. But if you want to build your sales reps and do those things, you can do that right in here. Duplicate the app. What this does is completely duplicates this app. Okay, so we're going to come in here and we're going to duplicate this app. We're going to call this duplicated app. Okay, and I'm going to say duplicated app. All right, so I can duplicate that app, and it's going to duplicate it exactly as it is. Okay, it's going to duplicate it exactly as it is. And you can see it there. Okay, I've duplicated that app exactly. It's the exact same app there. You can see the note right here. After it refreshed, it added the note up here to the top. This is a training app. I use duplicate app all the time. My number one way to actually duplicate apps is the copy code so that it copies everything exactly as it is. That's just my preferred method. It's easier for me to do that, and that's the way I do it. But you can also duplicate the app. Disable desktop preview. Let me show you what the desktop looks like. This is what the desktop version looks like right here. Okay, it's the actual app. They can sit here and go into this app from their computer. They can see the information. They can see the map on here. They can see everything. It also gives them a QR code they can scan with their phone. It says open the web browser on your smartphone and visit this link right here to view the training directory mobile content on your smartphone. You can do one of these two things. They can actually go into the app right here. If you want to get rid of that, we're going to disable desktop view. Now it says it's disabled. And when I come up, you're going to see that it actually looks like the app, okay, in big form. All right, the buttons go all the way across. If they wanted to go to the contact us, it's full page. All right, you still go to the map. You can do everything from the computer. All right, that's if you turn off that page. If you want to suspend someone, how many of you have people that keep telling you they're going to pay you tomorrow? Come back next week and I will pay you next week. Does anybody that happen to anybody on here at all? Come back next week and I'll give you some money. I can show you in one quick, simple button how to stop that from happening. It's simply called suspend. What happens when you suspend the app? You just go suspend. Yes, suspend. When anybody goes to this app, it's going to say that the account is on hold. If you want someone to pick up a phone and call you in like 5 seconds because they don't want to be embarrassed when all their customers go to their app that they've given out about 1,000 times. They do not want to see that account on hold. So simply what you tell them is, I can take your credit card over the phone, or I'll be more than happy to stop by and pick up a check. But it has to be today. Do not unsuspend it until you get your money, or you'll be playing that game every single day, okay? We have organizations like the Red Cross and the Salvation Army and the Goodwill that help people. You're not in that business. You're in the business of making money with your business. So suspend it. When they pay you, simply come back over, go unsuspend. Yes, unsuspend. And now the full app is back. Okay, when they go into their app, their app is back online and the little tag is removed. That is the absolute quickest way to get a client to pay you. It's kind of like getting your lights turned off. You know, you get 3 pink slips in the mail, and then finally they shut your lights off. And I can say that with pride, well, not with pride, but I can say that it's absolutely happens because I've had it happen. The electric company could really care less if I've got lights or not if I don't pay. So after that, you get that pink slip in the mail. It says account on hold, and you got to pay the bill. So the mobile app is the same way. Okay, very powerful tool when it comes to collecting your money. How many of you are in the business to make money? Let me ask that question. Maybe it's not for you. Maybe you don't need to use that button, but I can tell you that it works very, 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 very well. Let's see here. I shut off a button here, and I'm not. Oh, there it is, right there. Okay. Sorry about that. I couldn't see your messages. But so now what we're going to do? Is there any questions on any of these buttons right here? Any of these buttons right here? The buttons up here, if we don't get to today, we're going to get into these buttons next week. Okay. We'll get into these buttons next week. What I want you doing today is understanding this part of the control panel and how to build an app in about 5 minutes. Anybody have a question? How to do something? Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to come up and we're going to create an app. Okay, so when you come in and you're creating a new web app, there's 2 ways to be able to do it. You can either create a custom app completely from the very beginning, do every single thing, go into every single tab inside the control panel and fill out everything, and or you can do it the simple way of using create from template. This is the way I prefer. And you can see that there are several different templates in here. How many of you use the template program? How many of you go in and actually use the template program? I use it every day. I use these 2 generics. I don't use one with backgrounds and stuff because I do all that custom. But how many of you use the template program at least once a week? Anybody? I'm the only one? That sounds like a song. So what we're going to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to create this app. Can everybody hear me? Can everybody hear me? That should be the question I'm asking. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you very much. Okay. If you guys hear me knock something off of my desk, it's because there is a fly about to drive me crazy over my head. So, but we're going to come in and we're going to select an app. I'm going to select this particular app right here, this generic app. Okay. And I'm going to come down and we're going to call this Window Company. And that's because I'm going to use a Window Company logo. And I'm going to call this Window Company. Training. Just in case somebody wants that domain name. Now we're going to upload our header image. You see right here, it's 500 pixels by 277 pixels. 500 pixels by 277 pixels is the size of a business card. Okay, so if you were to just scan a business card, you could drop it right in there. Or if you scan a business card that's 1,000 pixels by 277 times 2 is, okay, it would automatically reduce it, okay, to the right size. So, but however tall it is, it's going to be that height. So what you want to do is you want to go 500 pixels by, you can do 500 pixels, you can do a complete square. But 500 pixels is what you want it to be across, okay? You want it to be wide, 500 pixels. That fits nicely. It doesn't stretch it, okay? It puts it in exactly the way it's supposed to be, and then it will automatically adjust responsively to the phone. So let's go ahead and upload an image here. Let me go over here. I'm going to do what I just did for someone. If I can remember his. Well, I don't remember if I remember the app name now. Tell you what, I'll do this. Sorry, I'm trying to find a logo. I'll just grab one of these right here. Okay, we're going to come in. We're going to grab a logo out, and I'm going to throw a logo in there. There's the logo. And it's going to load. And then we're going to come in, and we're going to get our phone icon image. Now, I build my icon images. I build my icon images 120 by 120. So we're going to come in. We're going to get the icon image. All right, I'm going to drop that in there. And there's the icon image. And now we're just going to come in here. We'll just change this to Tire Shop. Since it's a Tire Shop logo. Now, if you'll notice here, this click to call number and work number, those are the same, okay? What this does is this information here also disperses throughout the app in different databases. So this work number happens to go where? In the V card, all right? And then we're going to put the mobile number. We're not going to use a fax number. The email address goes into the email address. The website goes into a couple of different places. It goes in the V card. It also goes into the places, and it also goes into the website. Okay. Hours of operation. Address. All right. It's not going to recognize that right there, so let's just put Main Street. And I'll go back and fix that. Now you see this is a good example right here. Does everybody see where that locked that up when I put P.O. Box in there? When I put P.O. Box, Commerce, Texas, it didn't recognize that. Okay. So what happened is that did not allow that to pull up. So what I can do is I can either go back and I can refresh that and start all over, or I can go in the back end. So this will give you an opportunity to see me go in the back end. Put your Facebook page here. How many of you have a Facebook page for your business? I know a lot of the old timers do. How many of you on here have a Facebook page for your business? And be honest if you don't. Most everybody? Well, if you didn't answer and you don't, let me highly recommend that you go in and get a Facebook page. And let me tell you why. How many of you have gone on to Google and you've put a business name in, and the first thing that pops up on the very top is Facebook? The reason that happens is you will not get a better page, SEO'd page than Facebook. Facebook always will pop up in the top 2 or 3 on Google when someone searches for a name. So I highly recommend that for your branding purposes and for people to find you, go in there and build your Facebook page, and then attach that Facebook page to every single site that you build, everything, because that gives you great, what I call link juice, okay? Link juice is what creates those signals back and forth saying, hey, this is a great page here. He's got a lot of activity, and it will also give you points on when Google goes in through their algorithm looking at your websites and says, yep, this is a qualified page. It's a good page. It's got a lot of activity. It's got links on it that has activity, and that boosts your SEO purposes for there. Okay, and then, of course, you put your twitter.com in there. And we have created our app. Now we're going to come back. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add texting to my app. The first thing you should do after you build an app is add texting to it. If you're in the marketing business, if you're just in the app business and that's all you're out there selling, then don't worry about it. But if you're into recurring income that pays you month after month after month, and you want those checks coming in month after month after month, I highly recommend that you set up texting. Okay, so we're going to add text service. We'll set up 500 text. Now, when you do that, you're going to go to an order page and you're going to pay your $15. Now, let me say that the numbers that you see, if you're from another part of the world other than the United States and or this great country of Texas that I live in, you will, this is U.S. currency, okay? You pay a different fee if you're in different areas, all right? A ton of people. Why are you asking? So we're going to put in here, we'll put tire shop training as the keyword. All right. You guys can't see that. You're correct. Tire shop training. You know what you're going to do? Tomorrow you're going to say, I wonder if Kerry covered this while you're sitting there wondering how many people are in training. Tire shop training. We're going to search that, and it's good. Now, this short business name, this is part of the characters, okay, when it comes to the 160 characters that you can use. So don't make this like 6,000 miles long, okay? It just needs to be a short business name. Kerry's app, all right? Something short, like visible, okay? Whatever the business name is, but if it's like 2,000 characters, shorten it down, all right? Hit save. and you have added texting to your app. I'm going to show you in a minute. Remember, I told you the edit kiosk goes to the 2.0 system. After you added, man, I'm choking to death. After you add texting to your app, you can see the 2.0, the classic system, which is right here. If you didn't add texting, the only thing you would see was edit kiosk up here. Any questions so far? Any questions at all? We're going to keep rolling on here. Okay, now we're going to go into edit web app. Okay, the first thing we want to do, remember a while ago the map was messed up because I put in a wrong address. I put in a P.O. box and it didn't recognize it. And when I put all that information, it also filled out your information over here. It filled out your call us button. It filled out your information in your V card. Okay, there's the information for your V card. Your social media links were automatically filled out. You don't have to come over here. Now, if your customer has Google Plus or Instagram or something like that, of course, you will have to come back here on the back side and add that. But everything else everything we put on the front is added back here. Your email us, this was for the email form, okay? And your address in Google Maps. I'm going to go to add it. And you can see here that the map didn't show up, all right? But here's all the same information we put in. Now, if you want to come back and you need to come back and edit any of that information, you can. Now, I don't know if a lot of you guys do this. Some people do, depending on who the client is, and we use this as an upsell. You can actually upload their logo right here. And when they open up the, I don't think I uploaded it, did I? When they open up the, there it is. When they open up the map section, the contact us section, the addresses in Google Maps, that will show up. Okay, there's my map. I'm going to say use Google Map. If you do not click this button, this is one of the 500 calls a week that I get. Kerry, my map is not showing. And what I will say is this. Okay, go into the back end of the app, go into your app and go under content. When you go under content, I want you to go to address in Google Maps. What we're going to do is we're going to come down and we're going to simply click on this button right here in order for it to show up in the app. So if your app is not showing the map, all you need to do is click that button. Now, what will happen sometimes is the map will not populate right here for whatever reason. Maybe it didn't recognize the address or something like that. If you will take out something, okay, and come back in and add it, gosh, I can't type. And hit check address, it will populate, okay? And then just click save. And you can see all that information is there, and you can see the Google Map. Gosh, you can see the Google Map is there, and I've got that clicked right there, okay? So these little things happen. It's software. Maybe your computer has something else cached. Make sure you keep your cache cleared. If something keeps showing up and showing up and showing up, like your icon image, it means that your cache, the image that's on your computer is cached. So just clear your cache, and then the image that you just uploaded will upload. Okay? Now let's come over and look at the preview. Here's the preview. We'll go to Contact Us. And there you can see the logo again. Now, what some people may want to do is they may want to put a coupon there or something like that. You can put whatever image you want, but make sure you can do it 500 by whatever, okay? And everything else will be underneath it. You will see your map here and your GPS directions here. Now, I can tell you on some phones, and I just did that, and I should have done that. GPS directions will not connect, okay? Has nothing to do with the mobile app. It has to do with the phone, all right? GPS directions will not connect. And I think, if I'm not sure, if it won't connect, GPS directions won't show up. But, and that's a phone thing, all right? That's a phone thing. And what Mark did was, I'm almost positive he programmed it to where if it wasn't connecting to GPS, that the button doesn't show up. So people say, hey, I can't get directions. All right. This is your Call Us button. I ask this question often. Can everybody see the bottom left hand of the screen? Can you see the phone number down there in gray? Can everybody see that? It's like real light gray. It says TEL 5551212. Can everybody see that on the bottom left of your screen? Okay. When you want to check what's inside these links, all you have to do is put your mouse over top of it, and you can see what the link is. This is very important when you go in and you change a phone number. And let me show you that real quick. We're working with everything that's in the app currently, okay? We're going to come up here to Links and Web Pages. We're going to go to Edit. I'm going to change this to 3333. I'm going to hit Save. I'm going to come up here to Preview. I'm going to go to Reload. Now I'm going to check my number to make sure it's connected. Now, does everybody still see that it says 555-555-1212? That it did not change. Even though I changed it in the system, it did not change on the button, okay? There's a reason for that. This is a tab bar. What we want to do is we want to go up to the tab bar. We're going to go to Header. I've got to make it connect by disconnecting and reconnecting to the tab bar, because what that has done is that stored that in the database as you set it up. So you have to change this in two different places. All you need to do is come up and just switch it real quick. Hit Save. And that way you make sure that it connects. All right. So if you have your customer call you and say, hey, I thought you changed my number, 99.99% of the time, that's what happened. You didn't go back over and connect it in the tab bar or the button bar or whatever you've got up there. The email us link, this is attached to the email that we set up right here. The email us form. This has nothing to do with forms down here, which we will go through later. This is the email us form that's on the app. And when you go into there, you see here, you got your name, your email, your mobile number, and your comments and questions. This is simply an email form, okay? Nothing else. It doesn't go to your database. This will email directly to you to whatever email that you actually put into the system. The actual email that you put into the system. Any questions so far? Am I clear in my explanations of doing things so that you understand it? That's the most important thing to me, is that you understand what I'm saying to do. I do this like with my eyes closed. I've done it so many times. So sometimes I skip over things, okay? But if you understand what I'm saying and doing, then I will keep going. Now, the next thing we're going to do, all right, and we're going to stick with this particular app. We're not going to add anything to it right now. We're going to stick with this particular app. We're going to come down and we're going to start working on some color coding. What the heck happened there? Now we're going to come in and we're going to color code this, okay? This particular app, this is what we're working on. Let's go to settings. We're going to come down to styles and colors because all of our buttons are set, correct? We don't need to go in and reset any buttons. I'll show you how to move them around in a minute, but we don't need to really reset anything. We're going to come in and we're going to set up our colors. And we'll keep this simple. Now, what I like doing is, and you got a lot of you guys have seen my apps. I keep my apps very simple, but I keep everything color coordinated. The first thing I do, and I work my way down this list, okay? If I'm not dealing with the photo gallery, I don't deal with the photo gallery, but whatever I'm currently working with, and on this particular app, we're working on the header, the footer. This is the content body, the contact us. Anything that has any text in it, if you put any HTML or anything in there, it goes right here. That's under content body. We are going to be working with the main links. We're not going to be working with the slide menu links because I don't have a slide menu on here. We're not going to be working with the forms, but I am going to show you. Does everybody see this button right here, this big ugly button? That is under forms, but everything else will be like it is unless you change a background and you need to change a color. If I make a black background, and I'll do this to show you this, if I make a black background, then guess what's going to not show? My text right here. It's going to show inside these boxes because these boxes will be right, okay? I'm going to do my social media. I'm going to make sure that my social media buttons stand out and my save to home screen triangle. Now, if you've got a platinum program or above and you have your information down here on the bottom for your branding, this is your branding option. This allows people to know who builds the app and who to contact if they want one of those. Does anybody use the branding option? Does everybody make sure that you are blasted on the bottom of this app and people can get a hold of you? If you don't, I highly recommend you do that, okay? You have that ability to do that and you want to do that because people are going to see that app and they're going to say, wow, that is really nice. I would really like to have one of those. And they will contact you through that button. So let's go back up and we're going to start at the top. Does everybody have a color picker? Does everybody on this call, and I know we got some new people on here, does everybody know what a color picker is? Does everybody know what a color picker is? Just say yes or no. It's not a gotcha question. I just want to know because if not, I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do. I think most people are asleep. Okay. I'm going to use my color picker. The color picker I use, and if Kenny Dutton would type this in the box, is Colorzilla. Okay, Colorzilla. It's an add-on. All you got to do is come into Google and search Colorzilla for Chrome. You can also get Colorzilla for Firefox. Okay, we're going to come Colorzilla Chrome, eyedropper, color picker, and much more. And we're going to simply add this to our program. Install Colorzilla, and it will automatically, I don't know if you guys can see on my computer, but it will put the little icon up here on the dashboard. It will put the add-on right here, and you can use that to pick colors. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come in and I'm going to click on my Colorzilla. And I'm going to show you something here real quick. Can everybody see how big my box is? Can everybody see the size of my box, my color picker box there? It's 11 pixels by 11 pixels wide and tall. You can adjust that. And let me tell you why you want to adjust that. Some colors are not just one standard RGB color scheme, okay? Some colors use many, many colors in order to give you the color that you're using. So what you want to do is you want to pick a large swath. Now, I can tell you this is pretty much red right here, okay? I mean, it's red. So I can bring that down, and I can go 5 by 5, which makes it smaller, and I can get me a nice swath. Now, you can see the color right there, F0413B. That is not red. I think red is FF000, I think, two Fs and a 0. But that's not pure red. But I want to make sure it does what? I want to make sure that it matches my logo. So I'm going to take that color, and you can see I moved it and it changed the first number just a little bit. And I'm going to go up here to header, and I'm going to make my tab buttons that color, that red. Because see, I've got a blue that separates it right here. So I'm going to make that red. I'm going to make the background color red. All right. Now this will also save your colors over here in your color bar, so you can go back and you can grab them later. All right. Now I'm going to make the outline. I'm going to pull this yellow off. I'm going to make my border color that. And I'm going to make my icons that color too. All right. So it pops. All right. Now I'm going to come back and I'm going to make my background color that yellow color. So I'm going to go all the way to the bottom and set my background. Let me show you how to add a background image real quick before I put in a color. Go to background image. You can either put in a full image. Let's see here. We'll pick this one here. Just click on it. Maybe I didn't click on it. Sorry about that. And that's going to put an image in the background. Now you can also add custom images here if you want to. That actually, if I'd have made that a little bit different color, that would have matched. You can upload an image in the background, okay? And you can also use tiled backgrounds. Let me see if I can find one that's close to it. Okay, you can add a tile background. I'm going to remove that image. I don't want any image in there. And I'm going to make that background, we're going to make it yellow. Okay? Everybody follow me so far? Now, only thing we've colored is the tab bar. Now, I'm going to do the footer bar the exact same colors. But if you'll notice, I don't have the footer bar on here. All right, I don't put the footer bar on the front of my pages of my apps unless it's the other style app that I use. But I'm going to come up to footer bar, and I'm going to simply say use header colors. Yes, copy. And now I don't have to do anything. It automatically does it. All right. And I always forget this. See right here where that's white and you can't read the letters right there? You need to come back up here to tab bar. And you need to do selected color. And we'll do a deeper red or something. We'll offset that a little bit. Just like that. And if you'll see, all I did, there's a dot up here on this color wheel. All I did was take that dot and I just did it by eye so it would offset a little bit. And I dropped the color down. But that way you can see the text right there. Or I could have picked something over here if I'd wanted to. All right. There's a black tire there, so black matches. So we'll leave it right there. I'm going to hit save. I try to save after just about everything I do, just in case something happens. We selected use the same on the colors for footer. Now let's come over to content body. And we're going to come in, we're going to put a border size. Now, if you'll notice here, this encompasses everything on that page, from the image that you put up all the way down. I'm going to leave that black. Now, if I want to move this over a little bit, I can move my padding over a little bit, and you can see that it shrinks my image. It moves everything at one time, and it keeps everything consistent. All right? And it moves it off of the black line so that they can see it. We can come up here. We can change the transparency of that. We can make that completely white. We can do whatever we want. And or we can come over here and do a different background color. So let's do a red background. Let's make some white text. And let's put some radius on the border right here. There we go. So we set our radius, we set our content spacing. We can change the spacing of the content. I like keeping it about 5. That way it keeps a border around it. The content padding, which it moves your text and your image. Your border radius, your border size. You can make it as big as you want. Border style. I've started using ridge a lot. Ridge on the black doesn't show you much, but let me show you what it does on the red. See how it kind of puts a ridge around the red? It really looks cool. And your text color. You can configure your fonts. You can change the fonts if you want. Let me tell you something. If you change the fonts and you don't have like a really, really fast computer, you could be waiting a while, because there are like thousands and thousands of fonts that you're going to have to load. Okay, so I don't mess with the fonts, but you can change the font size. You can make it bold. You can make it normal. You can make it italic where it kind of leans to the right. You can make it normal. Okay. Now we're going to come to the main links. Your main links are these links right here. Okay. Any questions so far? Anybody have any questions at all? Does everybody mind if we go over just a little bit, since we're on this part? I'd like to completely finish this part. Is that okay? In the main links, we're going to start with settings. Now, don't let this overwhelm you. Matter of fact, let me just give you a challenge. Go in tonight if you're new and you're new on board with us here and you haven't done this yet. Play with this thing 5,000 different ways. Slide every slider, open every single tab. If you can get the color part down, you will build absolutely phenomenal apps. Okay? Am I right, Tom Hattori? You will build absolutely phenomenal apps. The color section of this, the styles and colors, is what scares most people. They're like, oh my gosh, you know, but it's not hard to do. So get in and play with it. All right. So you go into settings, and now these are already set up for you. Okay. The only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the size of this a little bit. But border style, you can change it to whatever you want. It's set to double now. You can put it to solid. You can put it to ridge, which you can't see with black. You can put it on a groove. You can't see most of it. Let me change the color real quick. Let me change it to red. Okay, so you can see here. Let me bring my height back up. Now you can adjust the height of these. You can adjust the width. I've started doing a lot of my apps at about a 3. And it just looks good on the phones. So just whatever you want to do, just go in and play with it and adjust the height of the apps. Now, border size, you can see here, only thing I have on is the bottom border. All right. I can make it as big or as small as I want. I can make it outset, inset, ridge. That ridge looks really cool. It actually looks rounded. I love that, man. I've been using that a lot and getting a lot of compliments on it. I can absolutely put a border completely around it. Okay, make it any size I want. I can change the border radiuses. All right. So don't be afraid to play with all of these buttons. You're not going to tear anything up. And if you do, reset it and move, keep on going. Does everybody get that? Oh yeah, me too. I experiment all the time with apps. Absolutely. And if I want to keep it straight, I just keep it straight. And if you'll see here, this says border radius, top left radius, top right radius, bottom left radius, bottom right radius. Maybe I just want to put a radius on the right side and leave it straight. I mean, you can design these things. I was talking to somebody today. I have built over 2,000 apps in the last 5 years. And I would be willing to bet that not 2 of my apps ever look the same, because there is like 1 billion different combinations that you can use with these apps. Okay, you can add backgrounds, you can add different, your colors are always different. Okay, millions and millions of ways you can go in and do these apps. So now we're going to go to the icon content box. Now let's remove the background. Let's remove that color on the background. This is the background color you can see right here. Let's come in. I'm going to do a color pick again because I want to highlight the colors of the business card. I'm going to make that orange. And I'm going to come in. I'm going to keep this black, but that outside wheel, the border color, let me remove that. And I'm going to make that a lighter orange. I'm going to come up here to this light color orange right here. And I'm going to pull just a little bit lighter color orange. And everybody designs their apps different, okay? I'm a color freak. All right? And I'm going to set that at ridge. And it looks like it's got a little circle around it there. Now, we're going to leave that black. Now, let me show you what I can do here. If you go down to icon, you can actually come in and put another border inside your initial border. I don't do this all the time, but I do it just if whatever I'm in the mood for. Oops. And doing that, I'll show you something else here in just a moment. Okay, and we'll make that red. I don't really like that too much. I would change that. I would take that black out and make those different colors, but we'll just leave it like it is. The text content box, we're going to do the same thing. We'll remove the background color, and we're just going to leave that yellow just like it is right there. All right. We're going to bring the size of that border down. And I'm going to make that ridge just because I like it. All right, so now we're finished with our buttons. We can change our text color to whatever we want to change it to. We can bold it. We can make it italic. Once again, you can change the fonts. Slide menu links, we do not have any. Okay, we don't have a slide menu link. Now forms, let me go into forms real quick. We're going to go into email us. Now you can see I made my background red and everything here, so black will work. But if I wanted to change my label color, I could change it to whatever I want. See, I made it yellow. I can make it bold. I can make it italic. And I can change the size of the font. Text inputs, same thing. Always check this stuff. This is probably some of the most important stuff that you don't check that gets out of the office and your client's going to call you and say, I can't see the text on the email and I can't see this. These are the things you need to check, okay? Have you a little checklist, all right? Border size, you can change the size of the borders. You can change the color of the borders. You can change this divider color right there. You can change the background color. You can change anything you want. Now let's continue on. We don't have any switches or anything on this particular email form. You do if you set up texting and you're using the join our list. All right. So we don't need to worry about drop down radio buttons or switches, but let's go to the button here. You can see that my button is, the text is beige. I'm going to make that black. I'm going to make the border color yellow. And I'm going to make the background color red. All right. So there's a submit button. Now you can change the size of that. If you want to change the text size down, you can. You can change the border radius. Once again, go in and play with it. Border size, padding. You can make the button smaller. You can make the button larger by changing the padding. What padding is this right here, okay? Your padding is the difference between the space between your left and your right and your top and your bottom of whatever information that you have in there. If it's an image, you're putting padding around an image. If it's text, you're putting padding around that text. And that's what adjusts the size of that button, okay? We don't have a photo gallery. We have social media. Now, if you use these templates, this is just me. You can turn the text back on. All you have to do is say show text, and the text will come back up, and it'll say Facebook and Twitter. But since everybody knows what it is, I take it off, because what happens is if you start adjusting the size of those icons, which I do, and I'll show you how to do that, it starts getting in the way, okay? Now, personally, this is me personally, you can use either social colors and or you can use solid colors, or you can mix and match, okay? Whatever you want to do. What I like to do is I like to make it match the apps. And I change the size of them because I think they're too big. And then I bring them closer together. But you can do absolutely anything with these you want. I'm going to hit save. And I can change this add to Homescreen Triangle. I would probably leave it black because there's too much red on that app for me. We come up to preview. And we have built out our business card. Now, honestly, and probably just about 90% of the people on here will testify to this. If I wasn't doing this on training, you can literally do this in 10 to 15 minutes at the most. If you're just getting used to the colors, okay, the color settings. And once again, let me say, go into the color settings. If you're new, do not be afraid to touch every single button in here. Okay, everything. The background color here is the background color behind the logo for the header. If I change that, you're not going to be able to see it. But what happens is when the app loads, the first thing they're going to see is the color, then they're going to see the logo. So you may want to make it, you may want to make it the background color of the app, or maybe something that just catches their attention as the logo's loading real quick. The title bar, you don't see a title bar on here, but we're going to go through, I think we're going to go through every single thing next week and touch every button in the system. From title and description, we're going to talk about title and description. If you'll notice, there's a title here, and then there's a SEO title and a description title. For those of you that are new and haven't started using beacons yet, that's the title, SEO title, and the description information is what is transmitted via the beacon. The home screen icon, we're going to touch every one of these buttons. The Facebook share image, what that happens with that is when you share on Facebook, right here, that actually transmits the image to Facebook and you can make that whatever you want. Some people use business cards, some people use coupons. It's all over the place, but you can put that image in there. Any questions on what we covered tonight? Next week, we're going to go just a little bit quicker as we touch every single button. But I've been having a lot of questions asked over the last week. We've got a lot of new people, and I want to create this series of 2 or 3 videos that everybody can use, okay? That every single person can use. They can save them, and they'll have every single thing they need to know about these apps. I'm going to show you how to set up the kiosk. I'm going to show you how to set up the, put a video in your app. You're going to see every bit of that. Any questions before we sign out tonight? First off, let me thank everybody for coming out tonight. And if you did, go to 90999 and type in Harvey on your phone and donated $10. Thank you very much. I know that those folks down there greatly appreciate it. Please keep those hurricane victims in your prayers. It is absolutely unbelievable. Yes, Dawn, I see you have your hand up. Please just type your question in the question box, and I can see it, and I'll be more than happy to answer your question. And that's Dawn Son. Dawn, am I saying that correctly? Dawn Son? There's a Q&A box, and there's also a question box, I guess, or chat box is what they call it here. Chat box. If you ever have any questions as far as the build and or sales or anything like that, please just message me on Messenger, and I'll be more than happy to help you. I like Messenger because I can do video conferencing and everything else. So that's the best way to get a hold of me. Any more questions at all before we sign out? All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I didn't see Martha on tonight. Keep Martha in your prayers. Martha Trahan, she is a regular on our Wednesday night trainings, and she's not here tonight. She is down just outside of Houston, so keep her in your prayers and thoughts. And I know the last message I saw from her, she was fine, but definitely keep her in your thoughts and prayers. Gary Lewis, he has family in Houston, so keep them. David Craiglow, he's just outside of Houston, in that Corpus Christi area. So make sure that you keep him in that Corpus area. And they had devastating floods down there, devastating floods. So, all right, folks, thank you so much. God bless. Good night. And I will see you in the Facebook group and next week's training. We're going to continue on with this. Kenny Dutton will make sure that he timelines these very well, and this will be a great help to everybody. I'll put these in a group video thing, and it'll work out perfect. Thanks. Have a good night. We'll see you next week. Thank you, Michael.